Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive.
hmm
Today we're going way back
Yeah.
to explore the fascinating world of traditional remedies
Okay.
and how they've, really made an impact on modern medicine. Like,
Right.
when you think about it,
Yeah,
it's incredible how ancient cultures used plants for healing.
for sure.
Some remedies were based on superstition,
Oh, absolutely.
but then others were surprisingly effective.
Yeah.
They had these powerful bioactive compounds in them.
Right.
And over time, we've been able to actually isolate those and study them.
Yeah.
And that's led to some essential medications.
It's amazing, isn't it, how we're still unlocking secrets of these ancient cures?
It really is.
Like with modern science, we can delve deeper into those compounds,
Yeah.
understand how they work, like at a molecular level.
Okay, well, let's jump into some examples.
Yeah.
First up, we've got artemisinin.
Okay.
Imagine a plant with the power to combat one of the world's deadliest diseases.
Well, that's exactly what Artemisia annua is. Or, as it's commonly known, sweet wormwood.
Okay,
It's been doing this for centuries.
really?
It was used in traditional Chinese medicine to treat fever.
Wow.
But what's incredible is in the 1970s, scientists isolated artemisinin from this plant.
So from sweet wormwood.
Yeah.
And it turns out that artemisinin has remarkable anti-malarial properties.
Yes, it
Wow.
really was a huge turning point in the fight against malaria.
Talk about a game changer.
Right. It saved countless lives.
Wow.
And it continues to be like a cornerstone of global health initiatives.
It's one thing to hear about these traditional remedies, but then it's another to realize how many lives they've actually touched.
Right.
It really makes you appreciate the power of nature.
Absolutely. And speaking of powerful plants,
Okay.
let's move on to Atropa belladonna,
Okay.
which is also known as deadly nightshade.
Deadly nightshade.
Yeah, this one is like shrouded in mystery and folklore.
That sounds ominous.
It has been used in traditional European medicine,
Wow.
but it's also incredibly toxic.
So they were finding medicinal uses for something so dangerous.
Well, they were able to isolate scopolamine from nightshade,
Okay.
and that is a powerful compound that acts as an anticholinergic.
So for those of us who aren't scientists, break that down a little bit.
Sure, so basically it blocks the action of a neurotransmitter called acetylcholine.
Okay.
And that neurotransmitter is involved in various functions like muscle control and transmitting signals in the nervous system.
So by blocking it, then scopolamine can have a variety of effects.
Precisely.
And some of those are really useful medical applications.
Right. Like it can treat motion sickness,
Oh, wow.
nausea,
Okay.
and it's even used as a pre-anesthetic medication.
I've used motion sickness patches before,
Yeah,
but I never thought about what was in them.
you're probably right.
I bet they've got scopolamine.
I bet they do.
It's amazing how these ancient remedies have really made their way into modern medicine.
It really is, but there's another side to scopolamine too.
Really?
Did you know that it can induce amnesia?
Ambi-
Yeah, and historically it was used for some pretty nefarious purposes.
That's unsettling.
It is, isn't it?
So this seemingly helpful compound has like a dark side.
It does.
I guess that's a good reminder that potent compounds need to be treated with respect.
For sure, the line between poison and remedy can be very, very thin.
Yeah.
And that brings us to our next plant,
Okay.
Digitalis purpurea,
Okay.
more commonly known as foxglove.
Oh, foxglove.
Oh,
I remember seeing those growing in my grandmother's garden.
really?
She always told me to admire them from a distance.
Well, she probably knew what she was talking about.
It sounded like it.
Scientists were able to isolate digitoxin from foxglove.
Okay.
It's a cardiac glycoside.
Okay.
So it has like a specific effect on the heart.
So it's not surprising then that this compound has this ability to strengthen and regulate heart contractions.
Right.
What's fascinating is that it's still prescribed today.
Yeah, it was a game changer for treating heart failure.
Wow.
But of course, it needs to be carefully dosed. Because like a lot of these traditional remedies, it can be toxic in high amounts.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's incredible to see how these plants that people have used for centuries are still relevant today.
Absolutely.
They really paved the way for some pretty amazing discoveries.
For sure. And speaking of powerful plants, we've got to talk about aconitum.
Aconitum.
Yeah, it's also known as monkshood or wolfsbane.
Monkshood. That sounds familiar.
Does it?
I feel like I've come across it in literature or mythology somewhere.
You probably have.
Yeah.
It often pops up in tales of poison and intrigue.
Oh.
And there's a good reason for that.
Okay.
It contains aconitine,
Okay.
which is a potent neurotoxin and analgesic.
Neurotoxin. Wow, that doesn't sound like something you want to mess with.
You definitely don't want to mess with this one.
Okay.
It's too dangerous for most modern medical applications.
Right.
But it really does serve as a stark reminder of the power
Right.
and potential danger
Yes.
of these natural compounds.
Yeah, it's a good thing we have scientists to isolate and study these compounds so we can understand the risks and the benefits.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what else is on our list of ancient remedies?
Well, let's talk about Revolfia serpentina.
Okay.
It's also known as Indian snake root.
Indian snake root.
Yeah.
These names, they really do hint at the plant's properties.
They do, don't they?
It's like these ancient whispers of power.
It really is. And the power of this plant is in a compound that we isolated from it called reserpine.
Yeah, okay.
It's a really potent antihypertensive and antipsychotic.
So it can lower blood pressure
Yeah.
and has effects on mental health.
That's right.
That's quite a combination.
It really was a breakthrough in the treatment of hypertension
Wow.
and revolutionized psychiatric medicine in the mid-20th century.
This ancient remedy used for centuries.
Yeah.
It ended up having such a profound impact on modern healthcare.
It really does show how valuable these traditional practices can be.
For sure.
And while reserpine isn't widely used today because of side effects, it paved the way for the development of other antipsychotic medications.
It's amazing how these discoveries build on each other.
Yes, they do.
It's like a chain reaction,
Yeah,
with each breakthrough leading to the next.
it's remarkable.
It is. And that's why research continues to explore the potential of these traditional remedies.
It's so important.
There's so much untapped chemical diversity in the plant kingdom, just waiting to be discovered.
Absolutely. Welcome back to our deep dive.
You know, it's amazing to think about how much knowledge ancient cultures had about plants and their healing power.
Oh, it really is. And it's remarkable that we're still learning from them today.
You know, we've talked about some pretty powerful plants so far.
Yeah.
Are there any examples of traditional remedies that maybe didn't quite live up to the hype?
Oh, there are definitely a few cautionary tales out there.
Oh, really?
One that comes to mind is the story of Krebiozen.
Krebiozen, that name rings a bell.
Yeah, it gained popularity back in the 1960s as a supposed cancer treatment.
Okay.
People were desperate for a cure, and there were a lot of anecdotal reports.
So more hype than actual scientific evidence.
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay.
But despite the lack of evidence, it managed to gain FDA approval at the time.
Wow. Really? How's that even possible?
Well, the regulatory environment was a bit different back then.
Okay.
Plus, there was a lot of public pressure to approve this drug.
Right. People were clinging to hope.
Exactly.
So it was a case of desperation and hype overshadowing scientific rigor.
In a way, yes.
Okay.
It's a reminder of how important it is to have solid scientific evidence
Right.
to back up medical claims.
Yes.
Thankfully, the FDA has learned from these past experiences.
Okay.
The approval process is much more robust today.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
So what eventually happened to Krebiozen?
Well, it was eventually withdrawn from the market when studies confirmed that it wasn't effective.
It's a cautionary tale if I've ever heard one.
It is.
It really makes you appreciate the safeguards that are in place today
Yeah.
to protect us from ineffective or even harmful treatments.
Absolutely, and it highlights the importance of critical thinking and questioning claims, even when they're presented as miracle cures.
You know, speaking of things that might seem too good to be true,
Yeah.
I've heard that there's a genetic mutation that makes some people practically immune to hangovers.
Oh, that's definitely one for the cocktail party circuit.
Right.
And it's actually true.
Right.
This rare mutation affects how the body breaks down acetaldehyde.
Okay, acetaldehyde, that's the chemical that's responsible for those dreaded hangover symptoms.
Exactly. For most people, acetaldehyde builds up in the body after drinking alcohol,
Right.
leading to headaches, nausea, and all those other unpleasant side effects.
But these lucky individuals with the mutation, they process it differently.
Yeah, their bodies have a super efficient detox system.
Oh, wow.
They break down acetaldehyde much faster than the rest of us.
So they just don't experience the same level of hangover misery.
Right.
I'm a little envious of those folks.
Yeah.
But, you know, at least knowing about this genetic quirk gives me a good excuse for taking it easy on the cocktails.
It's always a good idea to be mindful of our limits,
Right.
genetic predispositions or not.
Okay, so we've talked about a traditional remedy that didn't work out so well and a genetic quirk that protects some people from hangovers.
Right.
What other surprises does the world of traditional remedies have in store for us?
Well, let's move on to a story that highlights how even natural compounds can be too potent for their own good.
Okay.
I'm talking about ephedra.
Ephedra. I remember that name. Wasn't it a popular ingredient in diet pills and energy drinks back in the day?
It was.
Yeah.
Ephedra contains a compound called ephedrine,
Okay.
which is a powerful stimulant,
Right.
so it can boost metabolism and suppress appetite.
So it was essentially a natural fat burner. What could go wrong?
Well, it turned out that ephedrine could also put a lot of stress on the heart.
Oh,
And the FDA started receiving reports of serious health problems.
really? Like what kind of problems are we talking about?
We're talking about heart attacks, strokes, even deaths.
Wow.
It became clear that this natural stimulant had some serious risks.
It's a reminder that just because something is natural doesn't mean it's safe.
Absolutely. Nature is full of powerful compounds,
Right.
and it's essential to treat them with respect
Yes.
and understand their potential effects on the body.
Well, I'm definitely adding ephedra to my list of things to avoid.
Good idea.
Okay, let's lighten the mood a bit.
Okay.
What other quirky chemistry facts do we have up our sleeves?
All right, how about this?
Yeah.
There's a drug that can turn your sweat bright orange.
Wait, what orange sweat? That sounds unpleasant to say the least.
It's definitely a memorable side effect.
Yeah.
The culprit is rifampin.
Okay.
It's an antibiotic that's commonly used to treat tuberculosis.
So if you're taking rifampin, your sweat tears, even your urine could turn orange.
That's right.
Wow.
It's harmless,
Yeah.
but it can definitely catch people off guard.
I can imagine going for a run and leaving a trail of orange sweat stains behind you.
Yeah.
That would turn some heads. But seriously, why does this happen?
Well, it all comes down to how rifampin is metabolized in the body.
Right.
The drug itself is a brightly colored compound,
Right.
and some of its metabolites are excreted in bodily fluids. And
Huh.
that's what gives them that distinctive orange hue.
So it's basically like a temporary dye job for your sweat glands.
You could say that.
That's wild.
It's a good example of how medications can sometimes have unexpected and even amusing side effects.
Well, I'm definitely adding rifampin to my list of conversation starters.
Yeah.
Imagine dropping that one at a party. People would think I was making it up.
It does sound too strange to be true.
Right.
But it just goes to show that the world of chemistry is full of surprises.
Speaking of surprises, what other unexpected drug side effects do we have in store?
Let's talk about a drug that might actually make you smarter.
Okay, now we're talking.
Or at least that's what early research suggests.
A smart drug, sign me up. But seriously, what kind of drug are we talking about?
It's called cannabidiol,
Sure.
or CBG for short. CBG.
It's another compound found in cannabis.
Okay.
But unlike THC, it doesn't have psychoactive effects.
So no giggling fits or munchies with this one.
Not that we know of.
Right.
Early research suggests that CBG might have some pretty interesting effects on the brain.
Really?
Yeah, it's thought to boost neuroprotection
Okay.
and potentially enhance learning and memory.
So it's like brain food, but from cannabis.
In a way, yes.
Okay.
It's still early days in terms of research,
Right.
but the findings so far are intriguing.
Yeah, this is fascinating. It challenges everything we thought we knew about cannabis.
Right.
It's not just about getting high.
Right?
It might actually have
Yeah.
therapeutic potential for cognitive enhancement.
Exactly. It highlights how much we still have to learn about the complex chemistry of plants
Yeah.
and their potential benefits for human health.
This is why I love these deep dives.
Me too.
We're constantly challenging our assumptions
Yeah,
and uncovering new perspectives.
absolutely. Okay, let's keep going. What other chemical wonders are waiting to be revealed?
How about a drug that can literally erase memories?
Hold on a second. Are we talking about a real-life Men in Black memory eraser?
It might sound far-fetched,
Right.
but research suggests that certain medications can actually weaken the emotional impact of traumatic memories.
Real?
Yeah, effectively making them fade away.
It's mind-blowing. Which medications are we talking about?
Beta blockers,
Okay.
which are commonly used to treat heart conditions,
Right.
have shown promising results in reducing the intensity of traumatic memories,
Interesting.
particularly in individuals with PTSD.
So how does that work? Are these beta blockers essentially blocking the fear response?
That's one theory.
Okay.
Beta blockers are known to block the effects of adrenaline,
Right.
which plays a key role in the formation and retrieval of emotional memories.
So by dampening the adrenaline response,
Hmm.
they might prevent those memories from becoming so ingrained.
Yeah.
Wow, this is incredible. It opens up a whole new world of possibilities for treating trauma and PTSD.
It does. It highlights the fascinating interplay between our physical and emotional states
Yeah.
and how medications can sometimes have unexpected effects on our memories and emotions.
This is why I love chemistry. It's all about connections.
It really is.
Okay, I'm ready for more. Hit me with another one.
All right, how about this? Did you know that the FDA once banned a red food dye
Okay.
simply because it looked too much like a toxic one?
Wait, seriously, they banned a harmless dye just because of its appearance?
It's true, back in the 1970s, red dye No. 2 was pulled off the market.
Wow.
Not because it was actually harmful,
Okay.
but because it closely resembled another red dye that was toxic.
Talk about guilt by association.
I know, right?
So it was all about perceptions, not actual science.
Exactly. It's a funny example of how sometimes appearances can trump scientific evidence,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to something as sensitive as food safety.
It's a reminder that even in the world of science, things aren't always black and white. That's for sure.
Okay, what other strange FDA tales do we have?
Did you know the FDA has a secret list of words that can't be used in drug names?
A secret list. Now, I really need to know more. What kind of words are we talking about?
Think of words that make unrealistic promises or sound too good to be true,
Okay.
like cure safe or even magic.
So no more miracle cure pills hitting the market.
Not if the FDA has anything to say about it.
Okay.
They want to make sure drug names are clear, accurate, and don't mislead consumers.
Right. So it's all about managing expectations and preventing false hope.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The FDA takes its role in protecting consumers very seriously,
Yeah.
and that includes carefully scrutinizing drug names
Right.
to make sure they don't create false impressions.
It's fascinating. I never realized how much thought goes into something as seemingly simple as naming a drug.
It's all part of the complex world of drug regulation.
Right.
And it's another great example of how chemistry intersects with our everyday lives.
You know, this deep dive has already given me so much to think about.
I'm feeling a little overwhelmed by all this chemical knowledge, but in a good way.
That's great.
Yeah, what about you?
I could certainly use a moment to process all this new information.
Yeah,
It's been an exhilarating journey through the world of chemical curiosities.
it really has.
And I can't wait to see what other wonders we uncover next time.
Welcome back to the deep dive. It's amazing how much we've uncovered about the world of chemistry. From the ancient remedies that have shaped modern medicine to those quirky drug side effects that make you wonder how anyone ever figured that stuff out.
It really is a testament to human curiosity
Right.
and our endless fascination with the natural world.
I think what struck me is that chemistry is so much more than just beakers and test tubes.
Oh, for sure.
It's like woven into the fabric of our everyday lives.
It really is. And one of the most fascinating examples of that
Yeah.
is the gut microbiome.
Okay, the gut microbiome.
It's this community of trillions of microorganisms
Wow.
that live in our digestive tracts.
Okay, I've heard a lot about the gut microbiome lately,
Yeah.
but I have to admit I'm still a bit fuzzy on what it actually is.
Think of it as like an internal ecosystem,
Okay.
a bustling metropolis of bacteria, fungi, viruses,
Wow.
all these microorganisms that coexist in our gut
Yeah.
and play a vital role in our overall health and well-being.
So these tiny organisms are actually having a big impact on how we feel and function.
Absolutely. They're not just passengers along for the ride.
Right.
They're actively influencing our digestion, our immune system, even our mental and emotional state.
Wait, so my gut is actually talking to my brain? How is that even possible?
It's all thanks to this complex communication network
Okay.
known as the gut-brain axis.
The gut-brain axis.
These gut bacteria are constantly sending signals to our brains through a variety of pathways,
Wow.
including the nervous system, the immune system, even through the production of hormones and neurotransmitters.
So what kind of messages are these gut bacteria sending? Are they like tiny little life coaches whispering words of encouragement?
Maybe not quite life coaches. Nope, but they're definitely influencing the production of key neurotransmitters,
Okay.
like serotonin and dopamine,
Right.
which play a crucial role in mood regulation, sleep, and even cognition.
This is blowing my mind. So you're telling me that the bacteria in my gut could actually be influencing my mood, my sleep, even my thinking?
The research is still ongoing,
Yeah.
but the evidence suggests that the gut microbiome has a profound impact
Wow.
on our mental and emotional well-being.
It really makes you wonder what other hidden connections we'll uncover in the future. It's like our bodies are full of these secret conversations all happening at a microscopic level.
And each discovery opens up new possibilities
Wait,
for understanding ourselves and for developing new ways to improve our health and well-being.
Well, this deep dive has been an absolute whirlwind of information. We've explored the incredible power of ancient remedies, delved into the complexities of drug regulation, and even uncovered the hidden connections between our gut bacteria and our brains.
We've journeyed from the macroscopic world of plants and medicines to the microscopic world of molecules and microorganisms.
And along the way, we've gathered a whole arsenal of cocktail party-worthy chemistry facts.
We have.
But even more importantly, I think we've gained a deeper appreciation for the interconnectedness of everything around us.
Absolutely. Chemistry is the language of the universe. It's a foundation of life itself, and by understanding even a little bit of chemistry, we can unlock a deeper understanding of the world and our place within it.
I couldn't have said it better myself. So to all our listeners out there, keep exploring, stay curious, and never stop asking questions. The world of chemistry is full of wonders just waiting to be discovered.
And thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll see you next time.